everybody, this is Trixie here. So, right now I'm going to play Planet Zoo. I've had this on Steam for quite a while, but never really got too much into it. I think I got 1 star in this tutorial here, so I'm just going to start over. So this is actually going to be story mode, or career mode as they call it. The first level here is Goodwin House, and pretty much there's the description of it. I'm going to start a new one. And Planet Zoo, from what I understand, is supposed to be a lot like Zoo Tycoon, which was a game that I really enjoyed back in the day. In general, I just really love Tycoon games, so I'm not quite sure why I haven't really played it much already. I think I've had it since I bought it the day it came out and just kind of let it sit. As with a lot of the Steam games I keep buying games and I don't have time to play them much. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm taking the time to actually play some of the games I've actually bought in the past. And trust me, I've got a lot of games.
Heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets.
Ew. Imagine having to be his wife cleaning up elephant shit.
I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prize, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s.
Okay.
But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off.
Imagine having a fur allergy working at the zoo.
I'm not completely throwing you into the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Okay. That's a weird metaphor.
Hello there. From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals?
That zoomed in really quickly.
We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
I assume this is where they want me to go? Where are the bears?
Did you know that
there's
bears,
the bear.
also known as Ursus arctos horribilis,
I love
can
animals.
hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too.
Hell yeah, I would. I wouldn't go out for 7 months at a time if I if I didn't have to. Of course, since the whole virus thing hit, I haven't been out in like 3 weeks anyway. Besides for work, and then work's just like work at home. So here I am, working at home. Okay, so enter grizzly bear animal camera.
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall
There's
welfare.
the camera. Let's
You'll
watch
learn
the
more
grizzly
about
bear.
animal welfare today as we go through
Orbit
your objectives.
cinematic.
But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel?
He's cute. Can we watch him attack something if we feed him?
To get a close look at your animals. You can also get this view of an animal by simply double-clicking
What happens if I
on it.
accidentally dump a penguin in the exhibit? Will the bears tear him apart?
Let's pop over to the other side
I
of
used
the
to
zoo
do
and
that
take a
in
look at the
Zoo
lions.
Tycoon
I've
when the
marked their
penguins
location
would
for you to
reproduce too
find.
much. The extra penguins, I'd dump them into like the tiger habitat and they would eat them. I wouldn't do that anymore. I would feel so awful now. But back then, I was like the kind of kid that would dump the penguin off the cliff in Super Mario 64. I'd just be merciless. Locate the West African lion habitats. There it is.
Panthera leo leo, or the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most
Aw.
social of the big cats, and
Look
there
at
can be
the
as many
tiny
as 40
kitty.
lions in a pride.
He's
Although
so
prides of that
cute.
size are pretty rare.
Oh, she.
As
She's
Bernie
so
would
cute.
say, those lions are awesome. Which
Aww.
is precisely why I handle the
I have a
training
really
instead
big
these
soft
days.
spot for cats.
Anyway,
I
how about
love
we get
cats.
started on those objectives? Come on, let's head
Aw,
over to
she's
an
so
empty
cute.
habitat and see what needs doing there.
Locate the empty habitat. There's the empty habitat.
As you can see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain
Oh, let me guess. An
something.
animal?
Well, two somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
Adopt your warthogs. Well, I guess I got
Here we
two
are, a pair of
options.
perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Adopt from the side menu. Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works. The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
Why not? Who doesn't want a dozen elephants? It's a zoo, isn't it?
When you
Can I
adopt
order a
an
dozen
animal,
cats?
it's automatically placed in the trade centre, where they're held until you're ready
Honestly,
to move
I'd
them into
open
their
a zoo with
habitat,
just
which,
cats.
as
Just
it happens, you
cats
are.
everywhere.
So how about you move them into
Bengal
their new
tigers, lions, panthers. There'd just be nothing but cats if I opened a zoo in real life. Cheetahs. I love cheetahs. Cheetahs are one of my favorites. Send to zoo. Go there. Send to zoo.
home? When
Go
you ask for
here.
an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade centre, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade centre's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
Oh, there they are.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't
Uh,
hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible.
They seem kind
Of
of
course, normally
tiny
we'd have
to
to place
fit
the
in
animals
that
into quarantine
box.
before moving them into a habitat. But I am
That's a
assured
little
by a person of
unrealistic.
good standing that these warthogs
How
are in
good
the
are the
very
graphics?
rudest of
What do the
health.
people look like?
Right, let's get the warthog's
not too
habitat
bad.
finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall
Oh, there they
welfare
are.
statistic
Oh, the box
is
grew
itself
bigger when they
comprised of
got
4
there.
different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're
Hungry,
doing.
thirsty.
That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information.
Add feeding station.
Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
There, you happy?
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare. Oh, nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, our contractor
I
had to
have
leave
no
in a
idea
hurry,
who
so
that
this
is.
place is in a feral state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos. Oh, before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause the game. Just click the pause button in the bottom right corner.
Okay.
Ah, that's more like it. A quick break. Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way. Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built. Okay, job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Obstructed. Oh, she wants me to add on. So basically it's telling me where I should put it.
Right, let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
Okay. Do I drag and drop it? What's going on? I guess it didn't save. I guess this is what it wants me to do. Yeah, I think. Is that completed? Are we good? I think. It looks right. You have an issue with it? Build your habitat barrier. What does it want me to do? Oh, maybe that. Okay. I mean, it looks right. Objectives. Complete the habitat boundary. It is complete. What's wrong with it? Is it because there's 2 gates? I don't understand. It's complete. Fine, I'll just redo it. I really don't know what you want from me.
Good work.
Really?
Remember,
That's the
before
exact
you can
same
place
thing.
animals in any habitat, it has to have
Okay.
a full loop of connected barrier.
I literally
Now,
only
you've
made that a
probably
little bit bigger.
noticed that guests can't
I don't
actually see into
understand.
this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier so the guests can see in.
Why didn't we just do this the first time?
There we go. Adding in more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just
Give me
make
money,
sure you put them in
bitch.
easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them. Now,
Unpause time.
before we adopt our ostriches, you should click the play button. After all, if the game's paused, then so are our caretakers, which will make it a bit tricky for them to deliver the ostriches, eh?
Adopt and place 4 new common ostriches. Well, I guess they're giving me 4 choices, just like last time.
By the way, as well as pausing the game, you can speed the game up by clicking on the fast forward button. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster. It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to your habitat. Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish. All right, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think?
I already adopted
Let's
them.
put 4 of them in here. While
There
we
we
wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
I love how the boxes grow so big.
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour? Oh, heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Alright, well that was part 1 of the tutorial.
Well, Bernie certainly seems impressed. Did he do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the
Let's just
ostriches'
go ahead
lives
and
a bit
continue.
better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper
I
hut.
have no idea why people
Keeper
keep
huts are
visiting
where
my
the keepers
zoo.
prepare the food for animals.
I'm
So they
literally
should be
in the
placed near to
tutorial.
habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
Keeper huts are found in the facilities. Place a keeper hut.
You'll need to rotate the keeper hut to get it to connect up to the path.
That looks fine.
This keeper hut only has space for 1 keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time. Oh, but bear in areas where there are lots of guests.
Okay.
Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness. Negatively. In case that wasn't clear. Something that all facilities, shops, and a whole host of other objects need is power. And that obviously includes your newly built keeper hut. So let's place a transformer next to it, shall we? Now, the reason everything has gone blue is because you're using the power heat map. This map allows you to see what is and what isn't powered in your zoo. So once you've placed your transformer, you can click in the bottom left to turn the heat map off. Lovely work. Now the keepers can start using the hut to prepare food, and thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos. Let's get on to your next objective then. Bengal tigers. We want to adopt some, but I'm afraid
Oh,
there's
I
nothing
love
ready for
Bengal
them
tigers.
yet.
They're so
Head
cute.
on over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away. Righty, your next job is to build a habitat from scratch. And concrete and glass, I expect.
Wow,
So go ahead
so
and build
tough.
it. Just make sure that the habitat includes that big hole we've dug. Oh, and don't forget to add a habitat gate to the barrier. Oh, and make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
Good enough for me. So now we need a gate.
Now, Bernie takes safety very seriously at his zoos, so we should probably make sure those tigers can't jump out of their habitat, don't you think?
Nah.
The way we'll do it is by changing the height of the habitat's barrier. Okay then, you should start by double-clicking the habitat barrier, which will take you into barrier editing mode. Great. Now highlight the entire perimeter of the habitat. You can do that by clicking and dragging the barrier selection tool.
Oh, that's a lot. Drag the widgets to change the
Now
height
you've
of the
got all
barrier.
of the perimeter selected, you can increase the height of it
Super
by clicking
tall.
and dragging the barrier height tool upwards. You'll want to make sure it reaches a height of at least 3.7 meters.
That's probably enough, right? The kitties will never escape.
Now that the habitat is in place, don't forget to put down a donation box near to your viewing areas. We need every dollar we can get. Especially as these tigers aren't exactly eating instant noodles for lunch.
Well, why not? Ugh, Bengal tigers are so picky. Now
Okay,
we've got to
that's the
adopt the
habitat boundary
kitties.
complete, the habitat gate's in place, and most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of
Wow,
it anymore.
Bengal tigers are
I think
expensive.
it's time we
Who would have
adopted
thought?
those tigers. Whilst our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival. We'll start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station for them. This time, instead of adding a water bowl, let's try something different. Some animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a swim, but they can also use it to drink from. All you
Here
have to do
comes the
is
kitty.
make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink.
Aww.
There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to fill it
He's
with
so
water.
cute.
You should do that by going into terrain and selecting the water tool.
Oh, they want me to put in here, don't
Yes, that'll do nicely. Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitat?
Aw, frozen pumpkin. Rubbing pad.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Now, the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely, the bad weather. Although, given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go on, add a shelter to their
Aw,
habitat. You can either build one
he's
from various
flicking
suitable bits
it
and bobs, or if you like,
and
just pop down the
purring.
blueprint that I've already built for
Aw.
you.
Munch, munch, munch. Guess I should add some shelter here.
Oh, poor Dabs. I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat. Select a tiger and bring up its information panel.
Thirsty.
Rightio. Click on the Terrain tab. That way you can view the terrain information and see how they feel about the different types of terrain. That'll tell you what the tigers need more of or less of in this habitat.
Grass and soil.
Okay then, open the Terrain Editing tool, select Painting, and give them some more soil. Yes, that should help with the habitat part of their welfare.
Are they happy yet? But they want more grass. Oh, they want long grass. Here, have some long grass. Oh, but now they want short grass. I'm ruining everything. Okay, they've got enough, but now they want more long grass. Do they have enough long grass? I don't understand, kitties. You either want long grass or you want short grass. Okay, that's what you get. Let's get you some more soil. Oh, now it's making everything else unhappy. Should I just take away some water? I don't know what you want from me. Okay, so we're good on everything but long grass. Should I just stop there? Or is she expecting me to keep going? Right there. Increase terrain welfare to 100%. Increase plants welfare. Nope, she wants me to get exactly right. They're too picky. What do you want from me? Terrain. Okay, so we just gotta figure out how to get the long grass. We might have too much soil. I guess we can try to get a little bit less soil. Okay, now we don't have enough soil. I really don't understand these cats. I guess it's too much rock. Can I remove some of the rock? Where's... I guess that's rock. Let's what's under here. Do I have to, like, sell the rock or something? No, we've got the correct amount of rock. Do we want heavy soil, maybe? Okay, so now we need long grass. Maybe it's like these little parts back here. Just fill in some of those. Okay. Wow, they are really picky. Is that good enough? I don't know what they want me to take away. I guess there's too much soil? Now there's too little soil. Okay, so soil's good. How do I get rid of some of the rock? Oh, there we go. Bet that'll do it. Okay, so now, oops. Okay, I didn't want to double tap. Okay, so now we need to get rid of some of the... Okay, we got rid of some rock. So, let's see if we can add... Ooh, that's big. Guess we still don't need that much rock. Okay, so we still need some long grass. These cats are way too picky. Okay. Do I have to get rid of this stuff? Is that what they don't like? I really don't know what they want gone. Do I just have to make their exhibit bigger? I've already removed the rocks. I guess that's what they want me to do, is get rid of these. Is it because they have too much? Maybe it is because they have too much. I'm so stupid. Let's get rid of some of that. I am so stupid. Okay, so now I have too much short grass. Let's get some soil. Cover some of this stuff up.
Right then. All animals
Finally.
need plants and trees from their own
It only
biome or
took me like
continent.
10 minutes to figure this
deserts,
out.
Savannas or Asia, Europe, that sort of thing. It looks like these tigers need a few more plants in their habitat.
Because I got
To
rid
get
of
a
them all.
perfect fit,
'Cause I'm
use
stupid.
plants from the rainforest and temperate biomes that are native to Asia. Although if you have to, you can get away with using just one or the other. The tigers will also want a certain amount of their habitat to be covered by those plants. To find out which plants to use and how many, select a tiger and go to the Environment tab.
Aw, they want plants. I'm sorry,
Now,
kitties. I
as you
took your
can
plants
see, some of the
away.
plants currently in the habitat aren't quite right for the tiger, like the wattle bushes.
Oh,
You
I
can
already
remove
removed
them
them.
if
I'm
you
ahead of the.
want.
I already did it.
You can find all
Yay!
of the plants you need in the nature section, and you can use the filters to only show the types of plants you want to see. In this case, that's plants from the rainforest or temperate biomes.
Aw, Bingle Bamboo. Let's get plenty of stuff, make the kitties happy. They'll be pretty much invisible, but I guess that's what they want. Only 25%?
They say the good fences make good
Alright,
neighbors.
well, we
I
just
guess
got
that's
done with the
doubly
second
true when
part.
one of the neighbors is a Bengal tiger. Still, those tigers look so happy that I doubt they'd leave. Even if you did poke a hole in their fence.
Oh, ha
Oh,
ha.
but for heaven's sake, don't test that theory.
I want to test it now.
Right, let's head over
Okay,
to the
the
Indian
highlighted area.
peafowls. I've been told that we need to improve their social welfare.
Oh, they've got a little maze. That's cute.
Now then, just find one of the peafowls and select them to open their information panel. Then we can have a good gander at how they're doing. Although technically, I suppose gandering would just be for geese.
Oh, they need more. They're not happy because they're social creatures.
Expand their social welfare and we can get a bit more detail. Now, they've clearly got plenty of space and they're not stressed, but it looks like their social group isn't quite right. So let's find out more. Click on the social tab at the top of their information panel to see what's wrong.
Let's skip this. Let's just buy some peafowls.
Right, as you can see, the peafowls need their population to be larger. To solve this little problem, you'll need to adopt 3 more female peafowls. Off you pop to the animal market.
The males are unhappy because they don't have enough females in the habitat.
Good work on those peafowls. I expect they'll be delivered soon. But sadly, it sounds like
Snow
our snow
leopards.
leopard is a bit
Aww.
grumpy.
I want
Let's
a
head
zoo
over there
full
and
of
see what's wrong with
cats. Can I just make a cat zoo? That's totally going to be my next video. Just cat zoo. Nothing but cats.
Just like people, animals can suffer from stress if things aren't quite right.
Oh,
You know, like
they're
when you see
stressed
someone putting
out,
in milk
probably
before
because
the
they don't have
tea
enough
bag.
snow.
In the case of these snow leopards,
Where
they're
are
a bit
they?
stressed by their lack of
Oh, look
privacy.
at those little
You
tails.
can lower their stress levels by swapping out the normal
His
glass
tail is
barrier
so
by their cave for
fluffy.
one-way glass. It's not a cheap option, but I think they're worth the expense, don't you? This
Yes.
will give the snow leopards somewhere to go when they want to get away from the prying eyes of the guests.
I knew they didn't have enough snow. Quit your shit, zoo, and get those poor kitties some snow. Snow. Oh, they're not letting me. I don't know what I'm doing here. What am I doing? I didn't listen to her. Oh, I think I'm supposed to make the glass more resistant or something. Oh, that glass.
Of course, when an animal isn't in its natural biome, it's probably going to be too hot or too cold. Unsurprisingly for the snow leopards, it's too hot. Even with the terrible British
Wow,
weather. You should help cool it
surprising.
down by adding some coolers to their habitat. But let's start by opening up the temperature heat map and having a look-see at the temperature in the leopard's habitat. As you can see, we
Okay.
already have one cooler in there. Let's pop some more down and get as much of the habitat as chilly as we can. Luckily for us, this habitat already has power, but you'll need to make sure of that in the future. Just so you know, if any part of a habitat is powered, then the whole habitat will be powered.
Is that enough? Guess I need to put one right here too, huh?
You can find heat maps for all sorts of helpful
Perfect.
things, so do be sure to explore them and make good use of them. It'll take a little while for the temperature to adjust once you've added coolers or heaters, but now we've got the coolers in, we can address the leopard's terrain welfare. You see, what the leopards really want in here is snow and rock, so
Well,
let's
no
make
shit.
that happen.
Snow. I guess I'll click on one, be sure that they want all that snow. Where are they? Come here, kitties. I just want to know how much snow you want. Quit hiding from me. Are you in here? I'm not creeping on you. Where is it? Are they gone because of that guy's in there? Okay. They're all hiding from me. The camera angles kind of suck. Oh! She's right there. Oh, that's a difficult name. Can I rename her? I'm going to name her Kitty. Oh, they won't let me. I thought it was a good compromise. Oh, she wants more grass and more snow. I can do that. Long grass. We've got enough rock. Wonder if that's... Oh, she wants less grass. She's got too much grass.
Now then, all of that should give you a pretty good understanding of how to make animals happy. So I'd like you to go and check on all the other animals in the zoo and fix up any issues with their habitats.
Ugh.
That'll increase the average welfare of the animals across the
Hungry.
whole zoo. And that average welfare is a very important statistic. Now, to quickly see how all your animals are doing in the zoo, you should go into zoo management and then into the animals section.
Incorrectly placed education item in this park. What do I do? Just get rid of it? Goodbye. Is that good? Find your
As
animals
you can
here.
see, this list shows you the animal's overall welfare. So if something's amiss, then you can quickly pop over
have a
to
lot
them
of
using the
animals.
locate button. Right.
Oh,
I'm
we
off for
have
a cuppa while you make
lemurs.
sure all the animals
Lemurs
are
are
well looked
cute.
after.
Oh, we have wolves. That's cute. I love animals. Okay, what do we need to do? Increase the habitat species of prolifer to 90%. Okay, well... Let's... Oh, what's over here? What are these? Oh, these are the little lemurs! I want to name one King Julian. Oh, that's a female. She's not a King Julian. The lemurs seem pretty happy, though. Let's see, what is in here? The warthogs. Enrichments. So they need some kind of enrichments. Sort by species. Common warthog. Box. There we go, that should be enough. Are you happy now? Still not happy? How much enrichment do you need? Wind chimes. There we go. I think he's happy now. Gwinata. Gwinita? Gwinita. Oh, she's a beetle. They're not very happy. Welfare. So they're hungry. Oh, they're fine. They lied. They're fine. Let's go visit Amelia. Or Speedy. Where's Speedy? Let's go find Speedy. Welfare. Well, what can I do? Oh, they need some enrichment. Turtles. So, what can... Species... Dabra giant tortoise. Dog ball. Sprinkler. Small ice enrichment. Is that good? Are you happy? You're happy again. Cool. Oh, the zebras are unhappy. Let's close up this. Oh, there's zebras and giraffes. Habitat. Enrichment. Let's get you some enrichments. Plain zebra. Just randomly placing some
Not
stuff.
bad at all.
Sweets!
I think it's fair to say that you've passed the first part of your training with flying colours. There's still lots more to learn, but we'll have to head to another one of Bernie's zoos for that. If you want to grab your passport, we'll head off, shall we?
Alright, well, we just completed the Goodwin House. I think this is a good stopping point, so thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.